Hey, what's going on, guys? And your Charizard here, bringing you episode 38 of the HazardCraft SMP. And if you couldn't tell by the special in the title, this is a themed or quote-unquote special episode because most of you probably don't know this. It's not like a mandatory thing for you to know as my viewer. 38 is my favorite number. And to explain why, I have to originate to my childhood and still current, just love Pokemon. And yes, I am that 17-year-old kid who still plays Pokemon. Don't judge me, Mom. So in Pokemon, you have the mass amount of different Pokemon, or Pokemons, if you want to understand this more, if you're not, a fan of the game series. And they're all numbered from 1 to like it's 700 something now. I don't remember the number anymore. Used to have it memorized. And in Pokemon, number 38 is Ninetales. And Ninetales is my favorite Pokemon. It really is. I love it. It's not a unpopular one, but it's not a widely popular one either. So it's kind of in between. Most people know of it, and I love it. I don't know. It's something that's grown on me since the first game I ever played, and I've always had a thing for Ninetales as a Pokemon. I've played every game, and I've never changed my favorite. It's always been Ninetales. It stayed the same, and it's just a special one to me, alright? So I love Ninetales, and it's number 38 on the Pokedex. And because of that, 38 as a whole kind of started this trend of being my favorite number, and something I always used in certain situations. And I actually refer to 38 sometimes, and I might have done it in a video once or twice, as the God number. Because when you have a favorite number, and I know 38 isn't the God number if there was one, but when you have a favorite number, when someone or something brings that number up, you always notice it like, oh, hey, 14, 14 there. There's 14, I don't know, states in America if you're uneducated. So to me, 38 is always popping up everywhere, and maybe it's just because it's my favorite number. I notice it. But I started calling it the God number because I always see it everywhere. So to make a long story short. No, to make a long story short, 38 is my favorite number because of Pokemon and Ninetales specifically being number 38 on the Pokedex. So to make this special episode, this themed episode, I wanted to go back to where my favorite number came from. Pokemon, and more specifically, Ninetales. So, I've done a pixel art. You can probably guess and assume what it is. I'm gonna say one thing before I show this pixel art. Yeah, I'm stuttering like a fool. I'm gonna say one thing, and one thing only, before I show this pixel art off. It is about 3.5 times bigger than the now second biggest pixel art on the server. This is the new biggest. And it took me over 5 hours to build. I give you Ninetales in Minecraft. So, that is seriously all this episode is showing off this pixel art. It's a short one, I know, but hey, it's a special episode. I wasn't going to make it super long for you all, and I'm getting a lot of lag. Thanks, Mr. Internet, if you are a person or man. I should not discriminate. Mrs. Internet, Mr. or Mrs. or unknown. I don't know. I don't even know. Things of that nature. So, yeah, I built a Ninetales. It is roughly a 54 by 54 pixel art from, of course, in reference, the bottom layer, the far left layer, yeah, far right layer, and the top layer. It's a 54 by 54 square. However, it obviously is not a perfect square. It has lots of curvatures and such. Quite a work of art, if I must say. And you can point out all 9 of the separate tails. But I was actually really surprised at how long this took me to build, Not in a bad way, I should add. It took me about 2 hours to build it in a solo creative world, and because of that, I was expecting this to take at least 6 hours, 7 hours to build in survival. It only took me five, and the reason I think that is mostly resides in the fact I tried building it a different style when I did it in survival. Because when I did it in creative, I just kind of outlined it and then filled it in because I could fly everywhere. But I can't do that here on this server. So what I did is I did layer by layer placements of blocks. So I started at the bottom layer, went all the way through, giving the gaps where the gaps needed to be. Then did the second layer, went all the way through with gaps where they needed to be, and the colors where they needed to be. Third layer, fourth layer, all the way to the top. I did this. And it went by pretty quick. Like I did not even feel the mental wear and tear of 5 hours going by. I actually didn't really have many mental strains at all building this. So that really helped. And I don't know, I'm super proud of this build because it took me so long, and it's my favorite Pokemon, who's my favorite number on the Pokedex. So, number 38 or 038, Ninetales, right here. So that'll forever be at my homeland. But you might notice, because of this pixel art, some things have changed. So I took the trees down that were, all over this area. And I did that for two reasons for the pixel art, and also because I was planning to do that anyway. Mostly to the fact that I want to replant all the trees in this area in a design fashion that it looks nice and it's like landscaped. So the trees are gone. My beacon is not shining anymore, and that was because it was kind of covering up the Ninetales and I wanted to show it off in its, full extent. However, the beacon will be coming back, but I think I might move it behind the pixel art so it doesn't block the pixel art at all. So I might be moving the beacon off recording. And thirdly, the indent in this mountain. So I realized how big this was going to be kind of a little late into where I wanted to place it. And instead of encroaching upon this hill, I decided to do the same thing to the mountain instead of the hill on that side. Because one, I thought it would look a lot nicer than this, and two, I have a plan to make this look nice. Right now, it doesn't look nice, I will admit. It's a chunk taken out of the mountain. Obviously, it's going to look a little sore. But my plan is to have a nicely designed horse stable that wraps from there to there with, an area of stable, an area of outside walkway for them to get like grass and stuff, and anything else you would find in a horse stable. And I will bring the 20 horses that are still waiting for me, like a couple thousand blocks that way, to the stable. So this area is pretty much where my stable is going to be. And like I said, I think I can design it so it doesn't look too bad anymore. So don't worry about the random missing piece of the mountain. I have some leftover blocks here and such from the building process. I'll just quickly mine that up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Three things changed because of this pixel art. I took the trees down, the fountain and beacon will be moved, and chunk of the mountain kind of got eaten. I just devoured it. But don't worry, stables are coming soon. So that's really it for this episode, guys. That's all. It's a short one, I know, but it's a themed episode, so I wasn't going to make it long as it is. Therefore, with all things being said, thank you for watching. We have the new biggest pixel art on the server. We own it, we built it, and I love it. Hopefully you guys do as well. And, I don't know, to Ninetales. My favorite Pokemon, and also my favorite number. So, yeah, episode 38 is now complete. My favorite number has been, dealt with appropriately. And I am genuinely happy about this build. Like, it makes me happy inside. The best part is, where I started the episode off, on my balcony, you can see it perfectly. And even in my my bedroom, you can see it pretty well. Getting a little bit of lag out of nowhere. Don't know what that is. Do not know. Might be server, might be my internet. Who knows? The world may never know. But as the chunks slowly load in, I'll just leave my video off here. You can see it pretty much perfectly from my bedroom, which is cool as well. So, I hope you all have a lovely day. I will try to as well. And until episode 39, where we get back and do some normal series related stuff, I will see you all later. Peace.